So I will cut this wire, the red one, at that point, the black one at that point. Now the other thing that's going to have to happen is this is the fuel tank and it goes on like this. What needs to happen right in here is I have to cut out a little section there because it normally fits flush and I need to make room for the wires, so that leaves lots of room for that. Okay, so next up is going to be, so let's make sure that this is going to fit. It's going to go from here, it's going to go up to there, and it's going to wander around, and it's going to go up. I need a piece about this long, I think. Okay, we're going to have our black and red wire. Put them back in their packages for now. Press and pull. Press and pull. Press and pull. Press and pull. Press and pull on that one. Press and pull on that one. Now, solder these guys together. We'll first do a little turn here, a little turn on that one. Grab our solder, make sure the tip is clean, try and get myself a little space again, and solder that together. Grab my cloth and just wipe it clean. I can see when I stretch this. Yeah, okay, let's do the other one first, then we'll worry about that. Now, a lot of people would try to use shrink wrap on this, but it's just way too thick for what I'm trying to do. And so that's why I use that insulating varnish. On top of that, I'm going to use some Kapton tape. And that shouldn't have any problem with that. Get a little solder on the soldering iron, dab it into here. Till my fingers burn. Start with these little clips because I forgot them last time. If you can't remember how they go in, you can see there's two little dimples there and two little protrusions that fit into the dimple, so that'll go in like that. And then this one will go in like this. We're going to put the motor in here. And we took this is Woodland C-Mix Ultra Light Oil. And what I do with this is I put a drop on the shaft. Look at that. There's actually a little bit of hair on that shaft. Okay, got rid of it. So, put a drop on the shaft there and a drop on the shaft there. That's it. spin, spin. Then we'll put this in here. And drop this into, oh, okay, can't put the motor in there. We need to put it in the other side. So we'll pop it out, show you why in a minute. Okay, we pop that in like that. There's really only one way for it to go in. Now, if we go back to this guy that we had oiled, it goes in there like that. And these little guys have to fit in square. The little bushings have to fit square into this holder here like that. Okay, so we'll line this up. So he's in his slot. Next up, we're going to loosely assemble the screws and bolts here. Why loosely? Because we want to be able to get the trucks in. So all this needs to do is just hold it together. Back it off a little. Oops, that's too much. Double check that. Looked like it was in the wrong way. There is no wrong way. They actually fit either way. It's just that one goes in really nice and smooth, and if you get it in the other way, it's not as smooth because it's already been started. These are self-tapping screws, so there's a slight difference there. Now, things I want to check. I want to make sure these guys go in okay. Remember, they go like this. Part of what I did is I did clean out that area for them. That all looks fine there. So I'm just going to pull it out still. I'll show you why later. Why black electrical tape? Well, it's a little thicker than Kapton, and basically that's why. So just a regular roll of electrical tape. Cut a piece off. Bring the wiring up like this. Slide the electrical tape in. And I only need it to go to burnish that down. Now we do the same thing on the other side with the black. push that down. These guys back in. One on this side. With that one being in, we'll just go to the other side. Make sure that's all nicely down there. Put the other one in. I need to put the trucks on before tightening. So there's one truck. There's another truck. It's a little difficult. You can always spread this just a tiny bit and do it just a little. Spread it just a little. Put the truck in. Then do these up. Put this on the bottom. Okay, there's little tiny nibs here, 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 and here, and they make sure that these little copper pieces are where they're supposed to be. You have to move them a little, do that. Okay. Everything looking good. We'll give it another little tighten here. So that part's good. Now, what do we got left here? Well, we just have this little guy left. So, we'll leave that capped on tape on there. There's no problem with that. Now, the one thing I did want to do is I wanted to bend this guy in just a little bit more. That's probably good. I'll do the other side too. There. Now, that goes like that. That goes like that. Remember, we have to get this here underneath. There, everything seems to be falling into place the way I need it to here. There we go, that all looks good. Make sure that motor contact's in, make sure that one's in. So as far as anything's gonna go, that looks good, that looks good. Okay, the only thing left to do then is to solder the speaker in. Ready to touch. There we go. There we go. Almost. There it is. And there's number 3. So let's turn on power. And if we look over there, there's a light. If we switch the direction. Oh, there's sound coming on. Sorry, I didn't have light on. One light, t'other light. Forward direction. Okay, bell. Whistle. Okay, so now all we have is final assembly, because everything's going good there. So final assembly means getting this onto here. And in order to do that, those guys are fine like that. Already proven that in. What has to happen is this guy has to come back to here and just somehow figure out how to get him in to there. And then route these little ones. Okay. Now we see if this will all fit or not. Take this, gently do everything here. Seems to be okay. I getting a little bit of rocking here. That's fitting okay. The back isn't quite fitting. There's a rock point right there. I think I know what that is. So we'll worry this off. If we line everything up, we can see. The problem is that this smokestack, when it comes through here, hits this chip. We can see that what we have. Put this guy on the rails and then get a height gauge at the back here. You'd see that it's high. By, oh well, yeah, that's because the body sits just a little bit high. When I do the front one, matches up perfectly. Do the rear one, it's high by over a millimeter. Okay, if we look now, we can see those are really close. If we look at the front, we'll see that those are dead on. The difference is, and you can see it here, this here is a low shank coupler. So the shank is way down there, which means it comes in at the bottom. And what that means is that the shank here goes right into the middle, whereas in a low mount, the shank is at the very bottom of the coupler. And this lets you adjust the height of it a little bit, because I can't get rid of this. See that little bit of rock there? And the reason I can't get rid of it is because right here, where that needs to go down, I have some wires coming through. If you remember, wires for the capacitor went through to there. And there's just no, the wires are what's causing it to do that little bit of rocking with. So I'm ready to live with that. We'll go reverse light. There's the reverse light. We'll do the forward light. We'll go around and show you. We have forward light, including ditch. So that's good. Now let's take a look at bell. There's bell. Let's take a look at whistle. Okay. And I can use F7 for a railway crossing. Now, as I start to move it, goes out, moves fine. So, and then we'll come in backwards. And it's just going to come back in along this siding, which is a programming siding. So that's the conversion done. That's a lot more work than I had planned to do for this little guy. I got this used for about $50, and then the decoder for it's about 80 bucks or something. It's running great now. Had my issues with it, but I got a couple others which I've done some conversions on as well, and I'm going to consist them all, and we should have those running in a few days. Anyway, if you want to know how to mill and do everything else, that's what this was about.